Hi, I'm Austin Erkman.
And I'm Taylor Patton, and welcome to the Kitchen Table Podcast.
We're here to motivate, educate, and relate to you guys, sharing our stories, helping you to get 1% better in all areas of your life. Welcome to this week's episode of the 1440. 14 minutes and 40 seconds is 1% of your day. So if you spend 1% of your day trying to get better, you will have hopefully gotten 1% better. We're going to be talking about reverse psychology tonight, and
I spent 2% of my day on the Stairmaster.
nice.
Yeah.
28 minutes, huh?
Yeah.
Basically 30 minutes.
They're whenever I do cardio or anything like that, especially like if I can run outside, it's fine, or walk outside or do whatever outside, but if it's like on the Stairmaster or like a treadmill, it's like the world's ending. I swear, cardio is 10 times worse.
And lifting.
Yeah, I mean, lifting's very fun. I find it fun, and that. But like doing like
it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, but anyway, I get on there, and so I told myself I was gonna go for 30 today, which is like the longest I've been on.
Yeah.
And so I just keep cutting it. I was on there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I'm 1/6 way down.
Yeah.
And then I hit 15. I'm like, I'm halfway. And then I hit 20. I'm like, oh, I'm 2/3.
I do that literally all the time. Every day, actually.
Yeah.
Especially with my running. All right. 30 seconds in, just do another 30 seconds. Then you're done with your 400 or whatever it is. Or I count my steps, or I do all right, first 30 seconds is easy. I don't even have my row. First 500 meters, no problem. I just don't even look at it. And after that, it's all right. If I'm doing 750, I got 250 done, 250 done. All right, 1/3 left to go.
I'm so bad at I
just do times forever.
Yeah, I count my steps all the time now. Like doing anything.
How do you do it? Just or I try not to step on a crack, or I see how many steps it takes to get to the next crack. I just play games with myself. Yeah. It's just like reverse psychology.
All the time now.
It's just a game. I
literally think
it's like a conversation with myself.
Yeah. I literally think it came from cardio machine. It's just
probably. Maybe I unintentionally
try to
from last week.
You don't even talk out loud, just mentally, unintentionally.
Yeah. It is past time, but you know what? I gotta talk about something else before we get on the whole reverse psychology thing. Maybe I'll try to use it. Probably not, because I'm just serious. I'm just kind of disappointed with our numbers this season. We were doing so well last season, and maybe the influencing topic isn't a great eye catcher. That's possible. It's definitely possible. People just aren't interested in that stuff as much as Faith vs. Trust was a good episode this season. Compared to the other ones, at least it wasn't good compared to last.
Yeah.
But I don't know what we have some plans and stuff for the future, but I'm just trying to think of what would get it more. So if you guys are listening to this, share it with your friends. If you think it's a valuable tool, share it to your friends. If you don't think it's a valuable tool, send us a text, get on our social media at the Kitchen Table Pod, send us an email at kitchentablepod1@gmail, get on the YouTube, make a comment, tell us what you want to see to make it better.
Right.
We can only make it so much better without having a lot of feedback,
Yeah.
And we want to make it better. We want to bring value to you in whatever that is.
Or don't.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, then fine. Don't listen and screw off. We don't want you then. There's the reverse psychology trying to throw it in. So I just want to just help us out a little bit if you do enjoy it. That way we can start to have some more viewers. We can get some shirts and do some giveaways and build a brand a little bit more. Because it's not easy to do, and we've spent a lot of time on it. So if you could just help us out a little bit, that would be we'd really appreciate that moving forward.
Yeah.
And if you have topics that you want to know about and you want to know our stories, again, we're just two regular Joes. But we'd be happy to share any story about a topic that you feel would be beneficial. But and that being said, we do have some things going out for next season. Some more faith-based stuff and some more interesting topics with some more, hopefully, professionals in the world. But anyways, we'll have another episode for that stuff later on. Reverse psychology. Have you experienced it or used it
all the time.
recently?
Yeah, all the time. I literally feel like at work I live in reverse psychology, just trying to
Convince kids to do something.
yeah. And that,
Do you think it's easier with I don't want to call them juvenile delinquents. I feel like that's a bad word to use, but you know what I mean.
I don't know. Yeah, but that's what they're called.
I know, but is it easier to use with troubled kids versus kids who are more mature? You think?
No.
I think it just works based on whatever situation.
I think you can use it any age, any time. Like people use it all the time, and that it's just a work on in.
Yeah.
So I guess that's how I relate to the world, and that.
You know, initially I thought politicians used it a lot, but I think they just lie. There's a difference. Like reverse psychology, you're not. I mean, you might be lying, like, "Hey, I don't think you can do it," but it's not like an empty promise. Does that make sense? Like you're not guaranteeing anything.
Yeah.
Whereas politicians tend to have absolutes.
For sure.
That's just another thing we didn't talk about on Tuesday. Was like lying, and we just talked about manipulation. We didn't talk about lying and empty promises, stuff like that. And that is not what reverse psychology is. It's trying to get an outcome of some sort, and it's a verbalization or an action to get that perceived outcome. So it's not the lying and that kind of stuff. So I think that's important to mention as well.
Do you look back at like your life so far and been like, that was the outcome I was looking for, or like, dang, I wish I'd got a different outcome?
Oh yeah, totally. I think all the time, like I have this plan for my life. You know, everybody knows that, and it has not gone how I thought it would. But I also look back, like I have like some mini regrets, you know, but I don't have like any big ones. Like I don't regret going to Drake. I don't regret kicking at you and I regret not being maybe mature kicking wise how I am now compared to how I was in college. Because in college I thought I was good and I'm way better now. I've said that before. You know what I mean? And just stuff like that. Just eating wise, supplement wise, wisdom wise in general. Sometimes it's like, oh, you should go have some more fun. I wish like the NIL stuff came out when I was in college. I wish the Whoop was there when I was in college, you know, but that's just all life stuff. So I don't really look. There's also sometimes where it's like, hey, that night went exactly as planned. Like, cause I plan everything. So like, oh, that date went just how I thought it would. Or okay, this is what I want to happen, and then I try to make it happen. You know, because YOLO, and you only live once, so why would I not want to get my way? Type of deal. Like that's the selfishness that comes out of me. But that me being selfish, also I get what I want out of things. You know, so I use reverse psychology to get what I want more, and that's where the manipulative stuff comes in, which is not the good part of me. But if it's a plan, for instance, my fiance joined the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, that went according to my visualized plan. It actually was probably better than I visualized. There wasn't as like I thought there'd be a lot more bumps in the road than there was. And she put a lot of effort into it, so that made it obviously a little easier. And she probably still has like internal discussions with herself that I don't know about that builds her faith all the time, which is awesome. So yeah, looking back at that, I was like, hey, that went pretty well. Or like trips, a lot of things could go wrong on trips, you know. So like, especially if you drive through the night and then you got to hit all these points and then get back to school by Monday, like when we first moved to Des Moines, and those really worked out pretty well also. So it's just like when things are planned and they go according to plan, it's nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when they don't, it's a good learning experience too. Like I'm over it just sucks in the moment. But I'm over I regret this or this didn't go into how I had planned. Like that's just life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just got people who love you understand it. And if they don't, then you know what? They'll be mad at you. And if it's that big a deal, you need to make the commitment to be there or to do whatever it is. And if you can't, then you just gotta move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody can't come to my bachelor party, you know what? I gotta not hold that. It is what it is. It sucks. And I would try to be there for them. But if they don't want to come or they can't come, you know, that's life. Life just doesn't work out perfectly. So stop trying to live it like it is, because then you're just more miserable than if you just let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, I would try to use like reverse. I actually That's one of them I used it on, reverse psychology. I can't say because he might listen to the podcast, but I used it on somebody in the bachelor party the other day. Actually, twice. One was about, they're both about plane stuff.
I thought I know you're talking
It was not on you. I
know it wasn't because you didn't do it.
I can't say it. I can't say it because they were going to be listening to it and then it'd be like, whatever. But basically, I'm trying to convince them to come. Is what I'll say.
Yeah. And then the reason why I was asking this is because I feel like and like you talk about like internal dialogue, which is kind of like what I was like getting at is like people do reverse dialogue on themselves a lot. I feel like they always like downplay themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why I asked you like what you thought about like the outcomes in that is because a lot of like what you it's crazy like cause, like what you believe and like the energy you put out there, the thoughts you put out there usually comes back around.
Mm-hmm.
And that like if you're putting good thoughts, good like good vibes and like good, and if you're asking like the universe, the world, God, whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in, and that for like those positive things.
And they'll come. You're thinking about that. You're searching for it.
Yes.
There's a big Netflix documentary on that.
And that, but like if your script is flipped and you're asking for like negative things or unwanted things, and that or you only see the bad or the unfortunate, then those are the things you're going to continuously see, and the outcomes you're going to continuously see throughout your whole life. And that, so like that'd be like my one piece of advice, and that would be like get your mindset right to where you're asking for the right things and asking for positive things. If you don't know what you want in the world, then you don't know what to ask for.
Correct. And that's the first step I would say is know what to ask for. Mm-hmm. There's when we were probably a senior in high school or freshman in college, and there was a thing that came. I don't know if it was on Netflix actually. It might have been, but it was basically somebody was like saying that, and there's research that shows that it's like a true thing. One of my friends from high school sent me that, and he like wrote down like on a piece of paper and said it to himself every morning. And it didn't happen to come true in his case, but something good will happen out of it. And that might not be exactly what you think, but something good's gonna happen if you're thinking that way, you know? Yeah. Just like when you're in the dumps, like with depression, if you only can see the dark side, you're not gonna get out of it. One thing I want to ask.
That's why I like a lot of things like when it comes to depression. Again, it's deeper and there's so many ins and outs in that. Mm-hmm. But the first thing, like, start talking positively to yourself. Yeah. And that even if it's just, like you can only muster one thing a day, and that continuously say that one thing. Yeah, over and over. Yeah. Literally, it's like it's one of the things of meditation. You're supposed to have the same word over and over and just think about. I don't remember the exact, but it's the name of it, the activity. But yeah, same thing. It's just affirmations. Yeah, pretty much. There's like an actual word like this type of meditation. I don't remember what it's called. That's what I was trying to get at. So my sports psychology book, there's an actual exercise that's like that too. So you take the general population, they basically do a long jump or a broad jump. It's just a broad jump because they're not running. So you do a broad jump, see how far you can jump, you mark it, then you close your eyes and you visualize yourself jumping to a new line. Right? So you're thinking like you put a new line and then you visualize yourself, okay, I'm going to jump to this line, which is 6 inches further or whatever. And even if you don't reach that line, you 90% of the time are going to jump further than the first line you had, just because you're seeing it, right? You're visualizing, you think it's going to happen. So that kind of goes with your point. Last thing I want to go on back to my thing with the airplane. Do you think that me trying to get somebody to come to the bachelor party, and I say that I'm trying to get them to come, but that makes them spend more money by coming, is that manipulative? Because it's for me, and I'm convincing them to come even if they have to spend more money. See what I'm saying? That's where I get mad. So like what I would say there is like yes, but it depends because like at the same point like I don't know how I'm helping them though. How many more opportunities are we going to get to just go and hang out as a group? Yeah, but it's for my benefit. Is it? How do you know? Exactly, I don't, but I'm using it for my benefit because I know it's going to benefit me because I want him there. Well, yeah, of course it's going to benefit you, but like, how do you know? Like, it's one of those maybe situations. Yeah, like maybe it's going to help him, and there's no whatever way you see it. Yeah, I mean, there's a conversation that happens that changes his life completely. Like again, you can't really say like to me, it's like why would you not want to experience life?
Yeah. So.
But again, it's a different question. Like for me, like
Yeah.
it's like
And if it makes them go broke, obviously it's not good. But it's not gonna make them go broke. I know that.
If someone's that close to being broke,
They
I will
should say
gladly help.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I
So maybe I'm not as
literally,
manipulative.
literally anyone I think on our trip would help pay.
Yeah, and nobody should be in that situation. I just think it's interesting because I thought it was very manipulative. But you're right; it could help their life. Maybe I'm not as manipulative as I think because usually when I'm doing that stuff, it's for the good. Like I'm not trying to purposely hurt them.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks. All right. Anything else?
Yeah. Got we worked in the problem.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna.
All
right. Let's slip in there. More extra credit for the.
Always.
For this, yeah.
Always looking.
We're gonna call it the 1550 for now on. 1.002% better. All right. We'll catch you guys next week.
Love you. Bye.